Alright guys, Lex here, back for some more of the Great Ace Attorney. Alright, let's just continue this trial and find out what's in this box. So this is the article in question, is it? A small box deposited with the pawnbroker by Mr. McGilded 2 months ago. And on the night of Mr. Windibank's murder. The only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. Quick! Let's open it and see what's inside. Oh. Good gracious. This is no ordinary box, it seems. Wow. Although in truth I had an inkling that might be the case. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. Then, is it too much to expect? I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for playback of this disc, my lord. Oh boy, can't wait. So, here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilded's disc, deposited at Windibank's at much the same time. Not strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's disc. It was the disc of this victim in Omnibus. But why, for heaven's sake, are we to understand that the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded? I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on the disc, my lord. Yes, very well. Let the court now listen to this curious disc at last.
Hold it!
Who said that? Oh. Wait, my lord! Good grief. What's the meaning of this, Inspector? The music box and the disc are, well, they're unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the somber atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music.
Objection!
This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened. Prosecution has no objection. But no, that piece of evidence is police property now. You can't. Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here, with its policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. And no further delays. Please, play the disc. Oh boy, can't wait. Oh. Morse code. Oh, what on earth? That lady should know. That's clearly not what I would call music. No. It's just the same note playing over and over again in an irregular sequence. Mr. Graydon, this really is priceless. After all that, the music box is broken. Broken? It can't be, can it? Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom. Well, I only dropped it a little bit. With much regret. I feel the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues. Are you ready to move on, counsel? Come on. Yes, alright. It does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? Could this music emanating from the music box possibly be a new clue? I believe that it could be relevant, my lord. Good Lord, but how could it be? It's an abomination, Counsel. Mere noise. I fail to see how it could have any meaning whatsoever. It does sound strange, I agree. There's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there chortling victoriously, Inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow, and that's making him appear extremely on edge. If that's the stance of the defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this. Oh. I gotta learn how to do Morse code now. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? It's the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is... Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music. Look at that. The smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be.
Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Hurley, Runo.
Objection!
No, you're not. The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they're not, what are they? Shadowcoat would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend. Surely you have an idea in mind, because if not, it would be the death of your ill-informed argument. Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Choosing to accept that fact is pure foolishness. They've got me. I don't know what the answer is yet. Yes, you do.
Bruno.
Duh.
Just examined the music box very thoroughly. And I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all.
Really?
Really. The way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway.
Thank you, Iris. Alright, well, if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sound it's producing has some significance that isn't musical. Ah! Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? Morse code?
Something's just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like the one this music box makes.
Yeah, beating us over the head with it. It's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing, as soon as it started playing. I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion is that sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, then what the devil is it, Counsel? All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now. The prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend present proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation. Alright then. This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. If I'm right, I'm going to join all the dots together. Morse code. There's so many hits. With evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds in this music box is... Is this? Okay, it is this.
Take that!
Fresh paper, Counsel? headline is Pawnbroker Purses and Pick Purse Plunder. Hardly supportive of your cause. Oh, no, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page. Further down? Ministry Mall. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter being investigated at the highest level, I understand. I have heard that international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. Edward Benedict is a spy working for McGilded, and presumably those transmissions are in the form of wired telegrams. Of course. Juror number 5, your input please.
Stop! Oh, me, sir. Whatever's the matter?
Working on the job. You told the court earlier before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not?
Yes, that's correct.
And that particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports.
Oh, yes. We're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important.
Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound?
Hmm? You don't mean to say, is it?
That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code.
I don't believe it.
Easy. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer. Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secrets in Morse code? Yeah. Order, please, everyone. Order. But this is high treason, Council. Deserving of capital punishment. Too much vocabulary. What is this treason? And what is capital punishment? The sorts of words I'd half expect you to know. For sovereign governments' confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price. Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, McGilded perished. The all-important disc lay unclaimed at the pawnbroker. My word. In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal an act of high treason punishable by death. So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. In order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbroker illegally in the middle of the night. Because the barnacle left behind by Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too much if it got to the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous. Absolutely preposterous. So, in response to the defense's accusations, you claim complete innocence, do you? Well, of course I do. I've had to stand in here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir. Yay, he's on my team. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense. Teamwork. Delighted, I'm sure. The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is the murder of the pawnbroker who stolen the bank. That being a most flagitious offence, for which the law of this land sanctions as a capital punishment, but the heinous act of high treason is no less serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon. So then, let us proceed, you may. Huh? You gotta let us have a rapid on talk here, Governor. We got things to say. I beg your pardon. Who do you think you are? Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is professional baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin, but we ain't baddies enough to sell out our mother around. That's right. We're what they call the Three Skulkin Brothers. Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing. Graydon's counter. A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I've no relation to the man. Look, all we done is break into the cave the other night like what he told us to do. We'd known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it. I believe you guys. Mr. Skulkin. One mister would do, Governor. What's up? Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? And on the night in question you didn't gain entry to the premises illegally. And moreover, you did so as a party of three in collaboration with Mr. Graydon there. We did, Gov, we did. Quiet down, please. What say you that, Mr. Graydon? I have no idea what these two ruffians are referring to. You little rotter, getting us mixed up in all this monkey business. You never said nothing about no government secrets and sports supposed to be straight up job. And what about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? Poor old bloke didn't have to die, did he? Nice to know who your friends are. Whatever these men say, I deny the accusations. Indeed. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will admit it to the court record its evidence. Yay. Let's take a look. Hopefully you don't accidentally present it and lose a point, which I didn't lose last time. This is the mechanism that turns the bumps on a disc into sound, isn't it?
Yes, the movement. It's all thanks to the cone with its teeth that are plucked by passing bumps. Usually the teeth on the cone are different lengths, so each one produces a different tone. But this cone is very strange. All the teeth are exactly the same length.
Well, what does that mean?
It means that no matter which tooth is plucked by the passing bumps, the music box will make the same sound. I've never seen a music box like it before.
Yes, it is strange, a music box that can only play a single note. There has to be some significance to that, surely. Oh, really? Oh. Huh? Something special? Nope. Just how you take it apart. It's pretty cool they had that little thing there at the bottom.
Hold it!
So, is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted? How could I possibly know? What do you mean by that? Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. Few members of staff in the station where I work would never be entrusted with sensitive information.
No, stop! Must say something, stop!
Let me guess. Jury number 5.
We regular communication stations officers aren't as lonely as you're being led to believe. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader.
Oh, that's fascinating. Stitch.
Graydon is a highly skilled operator, not friendly only in the presence of idol. Stop!
So you had access to the equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon. Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors so they can't be heard. In any case, all messages are sent ciphered. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them.
Oh no, stop. Must say something, stop. Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with the ministry technicians and the ministry communications team. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communications. And he's received the top prize of the cipher ticket. And he has received the top prize in the cipher cracking convention 5 years in a row now.
That's fascinating. Snitch.
Graydon is a highly skilled operator, stop. Currently in presence of idol, stop.
Stop it. Well, your idol would appreciate if you keep your mouth shut. She should really pick her idols more carefully. I tell you, this lawyer's accusations are completely unfounded. Oh, that was good.
Hold it!
They're not? To anyone with a brain, that would be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds. Of course. Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Norse code. Ouch, he looks genuinely shocked at my ignorance.
I would be more happy to demonstrate the basics for you, sir.
A lesson? You're in court?
Morse code is a continuous series of 2 distinct tones.
Tones, you say?
Yes, a short dot and a long dash. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters.
I see.
For example, this is A, and this is B. But when you listen to the sound produced by this music box, you only hear one tone, don't you?
But it sounds so familiar. The rhythm of it is the same in everything. There's no discernible meaning to this apparently random sequence of sounds. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code.
No.
Okay, it's Morse code with a cipher. Really, you shouldn't be so surprised. What did I tell you? The music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in future. Stop. Nothing to say but stop.
No, it's so frustrating, isn't it? Let me just smile.
Iris?
I mean, if government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slide into place so nicely.
Could there be something I haven't considered? Would it really be impossible to use this music box somehow to play back Morse code? Like, there was a lever in there. I don't know if I clicked on it. There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in leaking government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least.
Objection!
Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend, to repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? It's already been established that to be Morse code, 2 tones are required, dots and dashes. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Then what? Well, it would appear the defense has hypothesis to put forward. You had better present your idea at once, counsel. How do you propose that this music box appears to only produce a single tone could have been used to cipher secret messages into Morse code? Did I miss something? Oh.
Is it now?
I've just noticed something about this music box. Looks like the bottom of it opens up as well.
I just saw that earlier. Ah, you're right.
Well, come on then. What are you waiting for? Let's open it. Alright then, here goes.
Look at that, there's another movement on the underside.
So does that mean you could set another disc to play back on this side? So there's 2 discs.
Yes, I think so. And it looks like the 2 movements are linked together.
They're linked?
But if you had two discs, they would play both back at the same time.
You would have thought there'd be a second movement on the underside of the box.
This movement is like the other one. The comb's teeth are all the same length.
So this movement only produces a single tone, like the other one.
Yes, it must do. Except that the length of the teeth of the coon tones isn't the same. The single tone produced by this movement will be different to the single tone we already heard.
What?
Basically, each movement can only produce a single tone. But the notes they produce are different.
Music box that can only play two notes. Oh, that percent. Good gracious, what am I looking here? Another movement on the underside of the music box. What? Appears, my lord, that the two movements are linked together. In other words, you can put two discs in this music box, and the sounds of both will play back at the same time. Good heavens! As the court has heard, Morse code comprises of two tones, a short dot, and a long dash. With the second disc in place, this music box can be used to generate Morse code and convey a message. This is beyond a joke. Sorry? This poor excuse for a lawyer has absolutely no evidence to support his claims. Of course, if my learned friend were able to present the court with a second disc, that would be another matter. Well, I can't at the moment. And may I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, he was not the one in the omnibus with McGilded 2 months ago, striking a deal over the discs or discs. Indeed, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. Exactly. I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Did you just use the same disc twice, and Sholmes's chocolate bar disc would work? Oh, it has holes. That must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue. The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be there somewhere. But I haven't found it yet.
Oh dear, looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Bruno.
Will reiterate your testimony, if you please, Mr. Graydon. If I must, though I maintain exactly what I did at the start of this pointless cross-examination. So 2 months ago in that omnibus, McGilded killed the brickmaker and stole the disc. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. Seems he lived in an artisan quarter some years ago, but people there remember little about him. That doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? How indeed? There must be somebody else involved behind the scenes in all of this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason, in order to take it to a meeting with McGilded and negotiate a deal. Do me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you, I have far more class than that. I'm an old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and this well-to-do communications officer. If only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. If you have nothing more to add on that note, let's continue with the rest of this testimony. Mason Milverton.
Hold it!
Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? That's it, yeah. Where is he? Silly me thought he was just popping over for an adder after all them years. But the rotor had a dodgy job for us. Eh, Ash? Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all them years, you say? Do you mean to tell me that Mr. Graydon is an acquaintance of yours? We're the sociable kind of baddies, you know. Sure, let's say Graydon's an old China.
Excuse me!
Something wrong, Mr. Skulkin? Eh? No, the other Mr. Skulkin. What? Who, me? When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react. Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have a right old life together way back when. Together with Mr. Graydon, you mean? Yeah, with Ash. I mean, you look at him now in his fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't add him and even. When we was younger, he was from the poor part of town just like us. Is that so? But he was always a leery one. He had them brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with small ideas like what would never ever gone through our heads. God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milverton and Skulkin's milk run? That was a crocker, eh? Save it until after the trial. Your reminiscing has no place in this courtroom. And neither does your fruit. Why, the geezer asked us a question, didn't he? And we was one answering. Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong. Nevertheless, the court is not prepared to accompany you on your trip down to memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please? I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Yeah, let's add it. My lord. Yes, counsel. The brother's last supplemental statement could hold vital information relating to this case. Very well, counsel. I'll permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail briefly. I hasten to add. Yeah. Say no more. Skulkin's never skulk. Milverton and Skulkins. Milverton.
Objection!
What? What? How?
Objection!
How? Okay, I guess I'm just getting ahead of myself again.
Hold it!
So I gotta press it first. Sure going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business? Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters, a bit of fun really. Delivering fresh milk to the local, that's what it was all about. That sounds alarmingly legitimate. There must be a catch. Suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate, but on what? So this business was just a bit of fun, you say? It was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved. Yeah, that's it. Milverton and Skulkin's milk run, was it? Yeah, that's it. And where did the Milverton part come from? Oh, right. I thought a clever little rogues like you ever had worked that out. Enough of this. How much longer are we expected to listen to this drivel? Let me guess, you don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying? Tell me, why is it that it was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject? Because I will. You weren't the happiest of homes that one came from. Yeah. His old man was struggling for money as much. His wife walked out on him. It's funny how the gnashes in the bite disappeared. She took the name of Graydon then, see? But Ash will always be a Milverton to us. Milverton? So that used to be your surname, did it? Of course not. This is all bumpkin. I've been a Graydon since I was born. Do you really think that you can rely on the testimony of these two thieves, You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a simple matter indeed to subpoena those records, Mr. Graydon. Well, it would appear Mr. and Miss Skilskin's testimony has been reliable for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then. Is that correct? Very well, yes. So Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. That information could change things. It could turn out to be extremely important. All of a sudden we seem to be up on our acts in a serious matter of national security. Although all this talk of interception of secret government messages is still conjecture at this stage.
It would explain a number of things, though, wouldn't it? The negotiation Ginny overheard on the Omnibus 2 months ago, and the break-in at Windywax. The trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the Omnibus with Mr. McGilden.
No, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker who was so horribly murdered.
If only there was some link between the two men somehow.
I know, but Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as ever, except for his last name. I wonder if the key to us making headway with the cross-examination here could be those two brothers, which I've been trying to present all this time. Now I could finally present this. Mr. Ashley Milverton. Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the court? Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. Truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Explain yourself, please, counsel. I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. As we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to have been negotiating with Mr. McGilden. Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. That's right, only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. Milverton? Do you mean to say saints alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton, is it not the case that the brickmaker Mr. Mason Milverton was your father? I don't. As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you joined the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena those records. Truth is, you have been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it on to McGilden in collaboration with your father. The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth. The truth, you say? That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Magnus McGilden. By dint of this music box, you mean, counsel? Yes, stealing information, being sent in secret government communications and selling it onto McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information. As presumably a safe measure against the information falling into the wrong hands. And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever. But the deal with McGilded went sour, and the brickmaker met his hand. Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc at the pawnbroker. Then, having learnt of the situation, he appeared at Windibanks 2 days ago, in an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn there. But that attempt failed. One of the discs was seized by the police, and the other he never found. That same night, he enlisted the help of the Skulkin brothers and broke into the pawnbrokery. This time, determined to recover the second disc. Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box? Eh? We never knew nothing about that. On the night that Mr. Windibank was killed. The intruder to the pawnbrokery touched one item, and one item alone, the music box. This rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera indeed. So, the question that naturally begs answering is this: why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious, because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since if it were to fall into the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago? I refuse to accept any of this nonsense. Well, does he have blood on his arm? Sir, there appears to be blood seeping through that sleeve on your jacket.
What?
Oh. 2 nights ago, we know there were 3 shots fired at the scene of the crime in Windibank's pawnbrokery. One took the life of the pawnbroker himself. One struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide, it's a bullet wound, isn't it? He's got us now, me old China. Time to call it quits and croak, I reckon. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Clearly I was a fool to think I could trust some common back-slum thieves. Fine, I admit it. I was there at Windibanks that night. I paid this pair of 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiating with Mr. McGilded. As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort. It's not going to go down without a fight, not until I can show hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact, which is, well, we now know one bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Skulkins brothers' gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Windibank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm. Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself, because it wasn't in his brain. And that leads us to the one conclusion. Mr. Winterberg was shot by his third gun, which can only have been fired by the third intruder.
Goodness.
That's right, Mr. Graydon. The only person who could have possibly shot Mr. Winterberg that night is you!
Hold it!
Who said that? No, him? You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here. What's that supposed to mean? He's gonna shoot us? Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbroker's. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intention of ruining the distinguished career I had built myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility? What do you mean? What thought? What possibility? Possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see, this makes me a key witness in this case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client. What?
Are you suggesting?
I saw it all. I saw the very moment that pickpocket girl pointed the gun at the poor defenseless pawnbroker and shot him.
What? Order. Well, it would seem we finally entered the last act of this theatrical trial.
Mr. Graydon. Yes, trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer. Oh, I understand fully.
Then I must ask you to give your formal testimony once more. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim.
Alright guys, I think I'm gonna stop here. Next time, maybe we'll finish the case. Thanks for watching. See ya.